It was a sweltering afternoon in a quiet town, the kind of day when the sun showed no mercy and even the trees drooped with exhaustion. Inside a seemingly perfect suburban home, chaos brewed behind closed doors. Meera, a young woman in her early 20s, had been married for just 6 months. Her marriage was supposed to bring joy, a new chapter filled with love and companionship. Instead, it had quickly turned into a nightmare she could not have imagined. Her husband, Arjun, was charming in public, but behind the walls of their home, his parents controlled every aspect of her life. They were strict, domineering, and carried a sense of entitlement over her existence. Meera was expected to serve without complaint, eat only after everyone else had finished, and never voice her opinions. She endured all of this silently, clinging to the hope that things might get better. But that hope crumbled the day an argument broke out between her and her mother-in-law. It began with something small. Meera had forgotten to iron a shirt properly. Her mother-in-law's anger flared, words turned harsh, and soon her father-in-law joined in. They accused her of being lazy, ungrateful, and disrespectful. Meera tried to explain, but her words were drowned by their shouting. As punishment, they forced her into the garden shed, a small wooden structure at the back of the house used to store tools. It had no windows, no ventilation, and under the burning afternoon sun, it became an oven. They locked the door from outside, leaving her trapped. Inside, Meera felt the heat pressing against her skin, suffocating her breath. Sweat poured down her face as she tried to knock, scream, and plead. But no one came. The sound of the family chatting and laughing inside the house made her realize they had no intention of letting her out anytime soon. Fear tightened its grip around her chest. Hours passed, and the air grew heavier. Her vision blurred, and she felt her strength slipping away. Meanwhile, miles away, Meera's father, Rajesh, was going about his day. He had always been protective of his daughter, the kind of father who checked in on her often. That afternoon, something gnawed at his heart. A father's instinct, strong and unexplainable, made him pick up his phone and call her. But the call went unanswered. He tried again. Still nothing. His worry turned into panic. He immediately decided to drive to her in-law's house. When he arrived, the house looked calm and normal. Arjun greeted him at the door with a forced smile, trying to assure him that everything was fine. But Rajesh knew his daughter too well. "Where is Meera?" he asked firmly. Arjun stammered, trying to change the subject, but Rajesh's eyes scanned the house. He didn't see her inside. That's when he noticed something: the padlock on the garden shed. His heart pounded. Without hesitation, he rushed toward it. From inside, Meera heard her father's voice calling her name. She gathered the last bit of strength she had and weakly knocked on the wooden wall. Rajesh's worst fears were confirmed. With rage and desperation, he grabbed a nearby rock and smashed the lock open. The door creaked as he pushed it wide, and there she was, his daughter, drenched in sweat, her face pale and her body trembling from exhaustion. Rajesh lifted her into his arms without a second thought. His heart ached as he realized what she had endured. "I'm here, Beta. You're safe now," he whispered, holding her close. Meera broke into tears, clinging to her father as though she had just been pulled from the edge of death. The in-laws rushed outside, pretending to act concerned, but Rajesh's fury was uncontrollable. He turned on them, his voice thundering like a storm. "How dare you treat my daughter like this? Marriage does not mean slavery. You promised to respect her, to treat her as your own, yet you lock her away as if she's nothing." His words shook the air, and for once, the in-laws were silent. Rajesh didn't wait for their excuses. He carried his daughter to his car, ignoring their attempts to stop him. Every step he took was fueled by the pain of knowing that the little girl he had once held in his arms, told bedtime stories to, and protected from every childhood fear, had suffered this cruelty in silence. As the car drove away, Meera rested her head on her father's shoulder. The weight she had carried for months lifted with every mile that separated her from her in-law's home. "I thought no one would come for me," she whispered, her voice fragile. Rajesh tightened his hold on her hand. A father always comes for his daughter. Always. That night, as Meera lay in her childhood room, surrounded by the familiar comfort of her home, she realized the true meaning of love and protection. Her father's courage had not only saved her from a scorching shed but had reignited the flame of hope within her heart. The scars of her ordeal would take time to heal, but she knew she was no longer alone. She had someone who would fight for her no matter what. Days later, Rajesh confronted Arjun directly. He made it clear that unless his daughter was treated with dignity, there would be no reconciliation. He spoke not just as a father but as a man who believed in respect, justice, and humanity. For the first time, Arjun looked ashamed. Whether change would come or not remained uncertain, but one thing was clear: Meera had her father by her side, and that made her stronger than ever before. This story is not just about one family. It is a reflection of countless silent struggles endured by women across the world. But it is also a testament to the power of a parent's love, a love so fierce that it can break locks, silence oppressors, and rescue a child from the darkest of places.